Alright guys, we're on a different piece of property here. I'll just kind of give you an overview. Just all chisel plowed fields, but there are grass roadways that run all through this. You know, coyotes aren't going to run through that chisel plowed field when they got roadways to go down. You know, all this stuff leads to pieces of woods. You know, it's just find you these intersections, plug in a couple traps, and move on. I mean, I understand a lot of guys don't have that option. You know, I mean, I get it if you're just trying to trap coyotes on your deer hunting properties. You know, I get that. But if you want to catch coyotes, you know, you gotta go out and you gotta find these places. You know, pull up your aerial maps and start looking. Get your plat books out, find out who owns those properties. If you're gonna try to trap open fields like this, I mean, I was always under the thought that, you know, you gotta trap next to the woods and that's where they run and everything. But like I said earlier, you're giving them all kinds of options not to go buy your sets. What's out here that they're gonna bounce off and miss your sets? Nothing. I mean, it might take a little bit, but they have to come by your sets out here. That's the thing. I mean, I can't see tracks. There should be tracks somewhere, but it's so froze and weathered. The wind's been blowing, so I mean, you can't really even. All right, guys, I want to show you something here again, real quick. Back to setting on sign. So we're on this road, okay? You can see it all down through there. Woods to our north. It runs all the way down here, hangs a left, and runs back up through there. But at each of these intersections so far, I'll show you real quick. Some more coyote turds. Okay? You can't get any more setting on sign than turds and tracks. If you can find turds and tracks, you're set. Okay? Start plugging some sets in around there. You know, like I said, we're clear out here in the middle of nothing. We're clear away from the wood line. We're not setting over there where they can bounce in out of different deer trails and everything. Once they're out here, they're pretty well, you know, somewhat pot committed to going past your sets. I mean, they have to. If they're coming out here these roadways and these waterways, you know, where else? I mean, you're putting your sets right in front of their face, basically. I mean, that's essentially what we're trying to do anyway. But by moving out away from it and working these waterways, you know, that connect to the wood lots and things like that, there's so many different options for them, you know, around the woods to where they can go different places. You try setting points, you can try setting, you know, near trails that come out, but you're going to end up with a bunch of non-targets. You're going to end up with deer setting your traps off. I mean, it's just it turns into kind of a nightmare, you know, day after day, you know, especially if you're running salt when it's cold out right now. You know, the deer are going to come in there, they're going to investigate, they're going to, you know, they're going to smell your scents too, and they're going to set your traps off, and you're going to come to a trap just sitting there perfectly in the bed, but it's set off. You know, it just gets old. You know, and for new guys, that can be a major turnoff if you don't realize what's going on. I mean, unless your chain's tight and, you know, and you got a catch circle or something and there's nothing there, generally it's probably a deer that's setting your traps off. So, you know, getting away from the woods, you know, the deer's still coming out here. There's deer tracks all over. But you're not going to be dealing with them on the wood line. You're not going to be dealing with the coons, the possums, you know, whatever else you don't, you know, non-target stuff you don't really want to mess with while you're trying to set coyote traps, you know. So, like I said, come out here, get away from the woods, find these roadways, these waterways and stuff like that. You know, the farmers usually are more than welcome to let you trap them, if, you know, as long as you know, don't go up there, hey, can I trap your property? You know, start with, hey, you know, I'm looking for some waterways, some ditches and stuff. It's kind of, you know, out in the middle of the fields, away from any deer hunters you might have out or whatever, you know. So, you know, they're usually pretty open to those things, you know. Places like this, these roadways, these grassways, I know over and over and over again. The Midwest is filled with them. You know, out west, I'm sure it's the same type of thing. You know, with any ag field, you know, any open areas, and you got these roadways, and these grassways, and you know, whatever, waterways with water ditches running through them, whatever. You know, those are the places you need to set. You're either going to catch coyotes or fox or bobcats or whatever, or you're not. I mean, and like I said, if you can find sign. These two intersections right here, this one and the last one the first one I set, they got turds. Turds and tracks. If you can find turds and tracks, you better be setting traps. So, with that said, I'm going to get 2 more plugged in right here. I think at least 1. I'd like to get 2 probably, but kind of worried. There's still deer hunters coming in. He comes in here in the morning, he's got coyotes dancing in traps in the dark. It might freak him out a little bit. So I'm going to try to figure out the best way to go about this. I really need to be on this side of the track with the mostly west winds. We're going to have an assortment southwest, northwest, and west the next foreseeable future. So we'll get these set. I'm burning daylight. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens the next few days. So I'm down to the last spot I was going to set on this roadway. Be 6 sets total, and I get up here and I really kind of undetermined on what I want to do. I know they're gonna run this interchange here down this little strip down to the woods and everything, but I couldn't really figure out where I wanted to put it. It's just kind of a little grass patch here. The fields are kind of worked. It's kind of hard. I don't like really getting out there and mess around the fields too much. So I just kind of walked around and I kind of let it just show me where to put it. So right here in this spot, it's just kind of a little open area. You know, you got good backing, blended in pretty well. So I'm just going to plug this in here. It's not the greatest for northwest wind or anything like that, but again, if you're setting on sign and in, you know, areas where they should be going by your trap, like here, I figured they're probably going to come off out of the woods, come up this edge here, hit this corner, and go down that way. So, I mean, we got a bunch of different options, but it's not much too far. It's just are left in. So we're going to be running this edge and this water and this transition area here. And again, the wind's blowing 100 miles an hour, so apologize for that. We're going to get this plugged in. I don't know if I'll put another set here. They're starting to get away from travel routes as far as to anything of worth, I guess. The only reason I'm going to put it here is just because of all that, so much that comes together here. Is just transition line and the roadway and everything. I mean, this could be the best spot that I have out of all the sets that I make. But you know, if I do make a catch here, I'll probably remake and plug another set in close by. If you got plenty of traps, try to do two per area at the very least. But for now, we're just going to do 1 and leave it at that here. I'll leave 5 sets on this track here. That should catch more than enough of what's coming through here. I anticipate them working back to the east on this roadway anyway, if they do come out here. So we'll have, you know, 4 more sets down that way. So we get this one plugged in and probably about call it a day. I don't know. Pretty much not really out of spots, just out of spots I really want to set that actually seem like it would make sense to spend the time. I got a week left. It's Monday now. I gotta go back to work next Monday, so I'll be pulling everything on Sunday morning. So we'll get all these set hopefully tonight. Might get some activity. We got 8 new sets in today. So that puts us about a dozen between all these properties of this farmer's. So we'll get this one set and probably call it a day. Alright guys, this is the first day check on that roadway. We missed nothing on the first set. This is the second set where the waterway comes in to this main roadway. Looks like this one got a little greedy. That trap got set off. It's just bad. But got this. That's a young pup. It's coyote nonetheless. Just showing again, setting on sign. You gotta do it, you know. Here's proof in the pudding. It's the first day check on these. So we'll get this dispatch remade. This one only made this set better. And we'll get this other set remade also. It's kind of a trench set. Just the way that the field worked out, I didn't really care for it the way it was anyway. I shouldn't even said it. I've talked about that before, and not, if you don't feel confident in a set, don't set it. Just, redo it. Do something different. So we'll get this coyote dispatched and do the remake here and move on down to the next couple sets that we have left out here. Alright guys, we're back out here. This is on that roadway. Just out here in the middle of the fields, the chisel plowed. We had about a perfect wind last night. We had a south wind, which is going to be blowing our scent from our sets all the way out, to the woods and everything. So these should be productive. We'll get this one dispatched. It looks real good fur. So we'll get this one dispatched. Check the rest of them, come back through and remake these sets. Hard to see through the window, but we got us a double. That's 3 on this roadway right here. Got a hind foot catch, which we need to get dispatched real quick. Looks like it's barely hanging on. That was a dirt hole, and that was just a scent post set there. We'll get them dispatched. We got almost every trap to reset on this line because the other one got flipped out. So get this taken care of real quick. Get all these sets. Start making these resets. It's hard to beat a double. That's why you make 2 sets at a location. Now this isn't something you deal with every day. We connected here again in the first set on that roadway. It appears that a deer hunter has taken it upon himself to go ahead and put my coyote down. It's part of it. I kind of don't blame him, especially if he came in here in the dark to hunt this morning or whatever. You got a coyote bouncing around in front of you, probably freaked him out a little bit. But we're gonna get this out of here, check, see how much damage we got, and just kind of go from there. Like I said, at least we got one. This is another one off this roadway. Makes 5 in 3 days. So we'll get out of there and check the damage and move on down and see what else we got. Hopefully we didn't have more that got shot with the muzzleloader, but if we did, we did. It's part of it. You're kind of, you kind of overlap deer hunters, and it's kind of what happens. So anyway, we'll get this taken care of. Well, I don't know if the deer hunter's appreciative that I'm catching the coyotes out here or not. I'm hoping he is, because again, he's shot my catch. Again, I can't be upset with him. You know, he's out here. This is his probably about the only access he has to get to where he's trying to hunt. You know, I'm not. I hope he's, you know, realizes what's going on now. Surely he's talked to the farmer, and hopefully everything's understood and okay. So we'll get this out of the trap, get these traps pulled. We got the corner up here. I can't see if there's anything caught up there, but if he's shooting everything, I won't know till I get up to it. So we'll get this out of the trap and get the traps pulled and move on down to the next spot. Alright guys, like I said, I was going to show you basically that roadway set there and how it all kind of works out. Got this is the stretch right here, right there on that green square with the waterways that come out, the roadway that runs north and south there, and right in here. Here's where we cut the double, cut the one on the end, and we had one on this grassway yesterday. We can essentially trap all of it, but right there's where we're keying at. Like I said though, if you go up here and you try trapping next to these woods or on this point or whatever, you're not really maximizing everywhere that's out there really. If you come out to this road, you know, once they're out on that road, they don't have anywhere else to go but by your traps. Alright guys, just an update on those coyotes that were shot when we got to the sets. Turns out it wasn't the deer hunter that actually did it. It was somebody that was kind of sort of trespassing. The farmer didn't really care that they'd got, kind of came down the roadway, but just the fact that somebody was shooting them, the farmer was kind of upset about that. So I think we've got that resolved. Next year there's going to be some better communication between me and the deer hunter for sure. He didn't know until he was seeing coyotes and traps out there that any of that stuff was going on. So anyway, make sure you're communicating. That's another thing. You know, if you are going to kind of overlap with the deer hunters, at least make sure they know, have an idea of where your traps are. You know, being on that roadway, shouldn't really be that big of an issue. They can completely miss the traps and not have to worry about it. So anyway, just an update on that and back to the action.